If the air in your grow space is a little too dry, then this will solve that problem. Welcome to the Hippie Geeks. Let's take a look at the Spider Farmer 6-liter Cool Mist Humidifier and see if it works any better than the last one I tried. I have tried using humidifiers in the past, especially when I was using wood heat, as that can really dry out the air. They never worked all that well, however, so I had kind of written them off as a useless party trick, even though I know a lot of folks have had success with them. Enter the Spider Farmer Cool Mist Humidifier that we are taking a look at today. It has actually been pretty dry up here for the last month or so, and I wanted to give this humidifier a try. The unit is just as well packaged as everything that we have gotten from Spider Farmer, and it looks like the unit survived the trip across the ocean without damage once again. The first thing you will remove is the water tank for the unit, and they actually used it to hold some more of the pieces that you are going to need later. Below that is the actual ultrasonic vaporizer that will create the cool mist, and also has all of the controls that we will check out later. You will want to make sure to remove all of the tape that holds everything together before you use it, and there are quite a few pieces. Inside of the tank, you will find the humidity sensor, along with the hoses that will allow you to route the humidified air into your grow space. The first thing to do is to connect the humidity sensor to the unit, and if you look at the back of the base, you will see a little wire pigtail. Grab the sensor cable, and there is only one way to get it to slide together so that all the pins are aligned. After that, just screw the connecting cap over it, and that part of the setup is good to go. After that, I am going to unpackage all of the hoses and adapters that were in the water tank, and you should have one long hose, two short hoses, one Y piece, and the straight piece that will screw onto the Y. For most applications that you are going to want to use the extension hoses in, you will want to connect the long hose directly to the top of the unit. After that, you are going to want to screw the two connector pieces together, then stuff the straight piece of the connector onto the other end of the long hose. Next up, you will want to go ahead and connect the two shorter hoses to the last two connectors, and with this setup, you will be able to leave the humidifier outside of the tent, and then run these hoses inside to distribute the moist air right where you want it inside of the tent, all without taking up any of the valuable space inside of the tent itself. After that, we are going to go ahead and fill up the water tank, and as the name says, this unit can hold 6 liters of water, which seems like a lot. However, if you want an even larger tank, Spider Farmer also has a 16-liter version that can pump out even more humidity, which would be pretty insane after seeing how much this one is going to pump out once we get it turned on. Now that it is full of water, we can go ahead and try it out. The settings on the front are pretty straightforward, and first up you will want to touch the power button in the upper left. That turns the unit on, and the display will show you what the humidity and temperature are at the end of the sensor cable. If you touch the mist button on the upper right, that will increase the mist output up to level 4, and then it will cycle back to level 1. By hitting the humidity button in the lower left, you can set its target humidity level, and once the environment reaches that level, the mist will stop flowing until the humidity drops below that level again. You can also set it to run on a timer by using the button in the lower right, but I am not going to ever use that setting myself. Next up, we are going to look at the mist output at all 4 levels and see if we can notice a difference. Here on the first level, the camera decided that it wanted to focus on the door instead of the steam, but it will refocus once we hit level 2. With all of this testing, the wind was whipping around pretty good that day, and the camera is not catching just how much humidity there really is getting pumped out. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I have not had good experiences with humidifiers, and that is definitely not the case with the Spider Farmer unit. This thing absolutely pumps out a ton of humidity, even on level 1, and it only increases from there. Cranking it up to level 2, and the mist output has definitely increased. Even with the wind, there is a lot of it coming out the top of the unit. It is nice that the unit is very quiet, even at the higher settings, so it shouldn't be annoying to most people. It definitely does make a noise, but in most cases it will be drowned out by the sound of the exhaust fan, or even an oscillating fan inside of the tent. Level 3 is going to bring an even higher level of mist pouring out the top of the humidifier, and even without a hose on it, the mist is making it quite a ways up in the air. The nice thing about this unit is that even its base footprint is pretty small, so if you have any extra space inside of the tent itself, you could also easily put it in there. I just like that the hoses give you the option of where to put it, depending on what each person has going on inside of their grow space and what they need from it. Last but not least is level 4, and even in these strong winds, it is just pumping out a jet of humidity. After this, I am going to hook up the hoses to this unit to see how well it works with those attached, as I want to know if it works just as well when it needs to pump it a longer distance. This thing is working great just as a standalone unit, but I need to see how well it does with the hoses to make a decision about whether or not this was worth the purchase price. Well, the answer is yes, it is still able to pump out all of that mist even at the end of a lot of hoses and split into 2 hoses even. It is still pumping out a very fine mist that is bringing up the humidity in this little area, and at one point it brought it up enough to shut the unit off, which made me laugh as I am sitting half indoors and half outdoors. I think that I can go ahead and say that this unit is worth every penny, at least if you are looking to increase the humidity in your space. If you want to check out the Spider Farmer 6-liter Cool Mist Humidifier or any of their other gear for yourself, make sure to click on the link to their website in the video description down below and use the discount code GEEKS at checkout to get 8% off your entire order.